have going on here. These two treated pieces of lumber, 2x4x16, 16 foot is the longest you can get at Home Depot. So obviously the carport is 20 foot, which actually on the inside of the posts it's 19 foot and 8 inches. So I have to make this 19 foot and 8 inches. So you measure from yay to yay, 19 foot and 8 inches. I mean, this is like kindergarten stuff here. And you screw these two boards together, which I already did. I didn't film myself doing, but that's it. And then with the 8 foot piece, I will cut the remainder, and you know, that's all you do. So it'll look like a solid, you know, it'll look like a 4x4 basically, but not quite. So here's my predicament. Obviously on the bottoms it's that open cap, so I have to lift this up a little higher, which I'll just make the metal go down further. No biggie, but kind of sucks. I would have rather it sat flush with the bottom, but can't win them all. So I repeated the last step, but these aren't pressure treated because they're not going along the ground. And this is going to be the header for the garage doors on the other side. And I got these really thick, I think they're like 1/8 inch thick L brackets. And it is pouring outside right now, but I have them both going the same way. Yeah, it's at least it's dry under there. Amateur tip here: if you only are one guy or girl and you're trying to hang a header that's 20 feet long and it's not crazy heavy, but it's heavy enough, just take a clamp and hold one side up on its own, mark where you want it or around. It doesn't have to be perfect, but in my case, I'm going 9 foot because I want my garage doors to be 9 foot. And then I'll climb up there and screw it in there. And then I'll go back to this, make sure it's level, and screw that in. And that's like having an extra hand there. It's just common sense. See? Free hands. So this is pretty self-explanatory. I found the center of the beam and I made my section here 2 foot wide by 9 foot, and then I put a treated piece of lumber along the bottom because that's ground contact, and just made sure it was square, and then marked the center of that with the center of that. You can kind of see the little line there. But anyway, I gotta just square it up and make sure it's all level, and then that's gonna be the center of the garage doors opening. All right, so here we are. It's ready for metal. The first time it stopped raining all day, so I think the biggest pain was trying to get these openings at exactly 8 foot, because none of this stuff is level or plumb or whatever you want to call it. Once the sides are on, it's going to square it all in, and it needs to be adjusted, but it is ready for metal. And I reinforced a couple things like these, added on both sides. I added more wherever it needed. I'm so tired, I'm so out of it, but yeah, it's ready for metal. I think we're at a good stopping point. continue again tomorrow. So here we are a week later, and the sides are on. Thank God. They were supposed to come back on Friday, like I said, but it's Wednesday of the next week after that. And you know, there's some shoddy work that was done, but you know, like I said, I don't like to complain. All right, so the biggest thing was I wanted these to come right to the edge, so when I do this, I can put the trim on there. And I told them not to worry about putting the trim up, so they left me trim, which they actually weren't leaving me trim. They were only leaving me 8-foot pieces. I had to talk them into leaving me extra because these are 12-foot, and I paid for them. So that is kind of, but ultimately they left it. So I have myself a carport slash garage. I finished it off. I'm gonna park my cars in here after I find all the screws everywhere, because I dropped a million screws. It just kind of goes with the game. And I didn't film myself building this thing. I probably should have. I filmed what the company did, you know, the sides and the top, mainly the whole thing, except for, you know, this back wall, the ugly back wall, but it's pretty strong. And then, you know, framing all this out, which, by the way, I shortened that pillar because it just gives you more room to pull in rather than having 24 inches. You know, now I have 9.5 feet to pull in, because I pulled the Jeep in here the one time and literally I only had about that much on each side of the mirror with 8 foot. That was kind of stupid. So shorten that. I started putting trim on everything, you know, as far as on the doors, but you know, I still have a lot of work to do. I'm just going to be putting tarps on it for now, you know, until we get through the winter. I mean, I'm going to do a lot. I do more projects in the winter than in the summer because I have more time, so I'll be doing a lot and we'll just have to see. But I'm just kind of giving you guys an update. You know, this is done. There's going to be a lot of projects. I'm going to be getting a 4-post car lift in here. I'm going to be cementing, I'm going to be putting pads on the floor for the pillars of the car lift, and I'm going to eventually pour a cement slab in here. But it's a lot of money, man, and it's a lot of work, and I just got to take one step at a time. I can only spend so many thousand each week. I paid for all this with cash. I didn't finance it, so there's, you know, it's a lot. I can't blow all my savings. I got to make more money, and you know, I have a family. That's why I have 4 kids, so you know, I can't be spending all my money on car shit as much as I'd love to. You know, gotta take care of the family first, and then this stuff comes second. So the deal is, today the winds are picking up. Now it's like 50 degrees out today, which is perfect for digging holes. But this back wall is a little sketchy. I mean, it's solid, but like it moves a little bit. So my plan is to anchor this down. Like you can see over here on these sides, there's an anchor in every corner, and then these little stupid pieces of rebar that don't do anything. But it's the same on that side. So my plan is to put a 4x4, digging like 4 foot down. They're 12 footers. So it'll be 8 foot up to that whatever you want to call it, strip. And I'm going to do 2 of them going up each side, and then I will have eventually, I'm going to hang a sign from it, like an old vintage sign, and who knows, but that's the goal today. I'm going to dig and cement those. Doing this the same way I do all my post holes. I fill it up with water, then I mix it in the ground. It's very self-explanatory. But you gotta do this for a while and make sure it's all mixed good, because a lot of people frown on this method, but why get a wheelbarrow out to mix cement in when you have a hole right in front of you to mix it in? Makes more sense to me. And every post hole I've ever done is solid as a rock, and I don't have any problems with them, so to each their own. All right, now to let them dry.